What we can expect for DSEI 2021?
The first thing to say is that DSEI 21 is going to be a live event, and there's obviously been over the last few months a fair bit of questioning whether the COVID situation would allow it to be held live, and the decision was taken about 6 weeks ago now to hold it as a live event in September, so from the 14th to the 17th of September in Excel in London. And that's really, really great news, I think. There's been a huge demand from the defence industry, both UK and overseas, for a live event. And this will be the first one since COVID sort of shut down travel and economies back in February, March of last year, the first one to be held in the UK. And so we're all really excited by that. In terms of what's new, it clearly runs on well trodden and well practiced lines, with the last one in DSEI 19, so in 2019. It's inevitably going to be a little bit smaller this year than 2019 because of COVID and because of travel restrictions, but it's only marginally smaller. We've got over 70% of companies have confirmed their attendance at it, and all of the big primes are going to be exhibiting there. And it's exciting. There's something like, I think today the figure's 264 new companies going to be exhibiting who haven't exhibited before. And so there's lots of old, but quite a lot of new coming as well. Now, because of the difficulties of travel, the decision was taken many months ago to introduce something called DSEI Connect, which is going to be a virtual element to DSEI for those who can't make it, either because of the UK travel regulations or their own country's travel regulations. And so DSEI Connect will go live in 2 or 3 weeks' time. It's fundamentally an app on your phone or on your laptop. And through that, you can tap into lots of virtual content, both sort of keynote addresses, but also company information. And then there's going to be also something called the Meet Me function, so LinkedIn, but for the defence industry. And so that's, as I say, launching in a couple of weeks' time, and should link the live and the virtual elements really quite well.
Is there new exhibitors of new pavilions of new type of equipment that will showcase for the first time at DSEI?
I'm sure there will be, and there are a number of new exhibitors. I think the first I'd mention, not in terms of exhibitors, but in hubs, is the Future Tech Hub, which is in partnership with Fujitsu. And that's bringing together what was previously the innovation, the cyber and communications hubs. And I mean, it's going to be a place where things like artificial intelligence, big data, data analytics, cyber security, digitization.
Can you give more information about the Outside the Rare exhibition?
Yeah, sure thing, Alan. So the outside area is going to be outside the east entrance, and there will be a Merlin helicopter, a Wildcat helicopter, both from the Royal Navy, the Army hybrid vehicle demonstrations going on, and that will be over a sort of course. And then from the US Army in Europe, there's going to be a Chinook, a Black Hawk, and an Apache as well. So a good number of helicopters, but also the hybrid vehicle demonstrations going on.
Alan, hi, I'm Major General Neil Sexton. So I'm the British Army's Engagement and Communications Director. And part of my remit is about international relationships, as well as our reputation management and our communications. And for that reason, I'm the officer responsible for delivering the British Army's presentation at DSEI, both in terms of how the stand looks, what other demonstrators we have got, our links in with industry partners, with land equipment used by British soldiers on their stands as well as on the Army stand. And of course, in helping, we really hope to see as many of our international allies and partner armies from around the world coming into the east of London for that week in September in order to promote UK prosperity and the UK defence industry to them through the vehicle of the British Army. And I think to just touch on that last point you made about what other environments are going to be there, there has been a really big effort by the British Ministry of Defence to ensure that the Army, Navy, Air Force, Strategic Command and the new Space Command are all presenting something which, when you add it together, produces multi-domain integration. And the theme for DSEI is, of course, integrated response to future threats. And the theme for the British Army is future soldier, an integrated army.
I would like to know why it's so important for the British Army to have a presence at the DSEI.
Well, timing is everything, and in two ways. This show that, as you've heard, is going to be live in September is really important. Firstly, for about 18 months, we have not been engaging in a physical fashion with our international partners, and we know, a reference army for partners around the world. We have 27 formal partnerships and a number of informal ones. And we want to kick off again post-COVID to a time at the end of this year where we have those physical relationships, discussions and planning together around all sorts of things, including equipment capability. So that's the first thing. But more importantly, probably than that, is that you will know that the UK had a significant security and defence review that reported at the end of March. That has set the British Army on a significant journey to modernise and to change the way that it is operating around the world, that it is training and educating its people, and that it's focusing on various elements of our equipment as well. And so DSEI offers us a great platform to explain what we have called Future Soldier, which is the British Army's transformation programme. And that transformation programme is about equipment, it's about people, it's about sustainability, both in the home base and on operations, and it's about the way that we want to work more closely with British industry in a land industrial strategy. And so all of those subjects we'll be covering at the event in September.
Is there a specific theme that we will present at DSEI?
Yes, there is. I just touched on it then. It's an integrated army. So let me unpack that a little bit, if I might. What we hope to portray at our stand on DSEI and with our industry partners is an army that is linked into the other domains. So we will specifically have a link between air platforms, Apache, Echo, Wildcat and unmanned system on our stand using Link 16 and data transfer, and that will be a demonstration that we will have live on the stand. And we want to illustrate through the major presentations and speeches that will be given that although the British Army clearly proudly works around the globe, it is rarely there alone. It is nearly always going to be supported by Strategic Command, whether that's with intelligence support or medical support, and both of those are areas that will be covered at DSEI in some detail, or whether that's with our sister services of the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force. So that's the Army working in concert with them and operating across the boundaries between the domains. And all of that will be spoken about by the Chief of the Army, who is giving a keynote address, by his deputy, and by the senior directors around equipment and information and capability and infrastructure at the event.
Have you already an idea about which product also you will present at the British Army booth?
Yes, indeed we have, and we're really pleased that because there are slightly fewer exhibitors than there have been in previous years. We've got slightly more space than we have done before, so we're able to demonstrate a little more. If I talk about the inside stand initially, then you will see the Ajax armoured fighting vehicle, our new reconnaissance vehicle, in one of the earliest turreted versions with the 14mm cannon. You will, we hope, or this is yet to be confirmed, see a Boxer mechanised infantry vehicle. There will be an Apache 64 Echo model and an Army version of Wildcat that I've already mentioned will be demonstrating the data linkage and so on. The Challenger 3 demonstrator tank will not be on the Army stand, but it will be on the RBSL stand, which is quite close by. And we will also have our Watchkeeper unmanned air system on the Army stand, alongside Falcon Shield and Land Scepter, to consider and to illustrate our emphasis that we're placing at the moment on force protection and air defense and enemy access denial.